Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray became the first teammates in NBA history to have triple-doubles in a final series, and they did it in the same game yesterday in Game 3. They combined for 66 points, 31 rebounds, and 20 assists. But as crazy as those numbers sound, it actually isn't all that far from what they've been doing for the postseason at large, because Jokic and Murray for the entire playoffs combined for 58 points a game, 19 rebounds a game, and 17 assists a game. Game 3 wasn't even some crazy outlier performance for them. It was a few more points, a very marginal amount of more assists, and then just like 10 more rebounds, which is not nothing, but it's not that crazy. And it is this casually excellent level of production from these two that has made me come to the conclusion that, you know what, this is the best duo in the NBA. And I don't even know if it's that close. So let me explain why. The NBA Finals are here, which makes now the perfect time to check out this video's sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy for someone that is new to daily fantasy. It is just you versus the projections. Select 2 to 6 players and pick whether you think they will get more or less of their projected stat. Get them all right and you can win up to 25 times your money. Prize Picks is also doing a massive giveaway for this entire postseason. Every single day, one random Prize Picks user will have a chance to become a millionaire. One entry placed after 8 a.m. Eastern will be randomly selected every day to make a 6-pick flex play. Get 4 picks correct and you win $16,000. Get 5 correct, you win $80,000, and get all 6 correct and you will walk away a millionaire. And what's great for you is that if you have not checked out Prize Picks already, first-time users who use my code Rusty will get an instant deposit match up to $100. So let's say you put $50 into the app, Prize Picks gives you $50 and so on. So click the link in the description to download Prize Picks, and again, use my code Rusty for an instant deposit match up to $100. Thank you to Prize Picks for sponsoring this video. Also, one more quick thing before we get into this video. If you want to get my reaction specifically to Game 3 and not just talking about this duo at large, that will be out on my second channel very soon after this video goes up. All my post-game reactions are there, so go subscribe there if you haven't already and check out that video. But yeah, let's get into it. Now, I'll be the first to admit that there are duos in this league that either have more or a similar-ish level of talent that Jokic and Murray have combined. Like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are probably collectively a little bit more talented. Then you have a healthy LeBron and AD, a healthy Kawhi and PG, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I actually have stuff to say about them later, so don't worry. Maybe James Harden and Embiid, though I think it'd be hard to make that case given how poorly that Game 7 went. And of course, Giannis and Middleton even. But to me, without a doubt, what makes a great duo goes so much further than just talent. And it is because of those reasons outside of talent, when they already have a lot of talent as it is, that makes this the best duo in the league. There's one thing that I've always appreciated about certain duos that I don't think is talked about enough when it comes to evaluating a duo. It seems to me that a lot of people have just some super basic idea of what a duo is. Like it's just 2 super good basketball players who are on the same team. And yeah, I guess that technically counts as a duo. It can be just as simple as that. But I think the truly excellent duos, the ones that have the most success, the ones that win championships, are ones that have a symbiotic relationship with each other. The ability to play off of each other is so undervalued to me. Having the players in your duo have complementary skill sets to each other is a surefire way to elevate a duo well beyond just its talent, because they make each other better to exceed that talent. Let's take a look at what, to me personally, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, but for me, what is without a shadow of a doubt the best duo in the history of basketball: Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Why do Kobe and Shaq work so well? Well, for starters, they're 2 of the 10 greatest talents in the history of basketball. So okay, fair. That's an important reason, I'll give you that. But I think what made the punch of Kobe and Shaq so particularly significant was the fact that they elevated each other's games by virtue of the complementary nature of their skill sets. Shaq made for an excellent dump-off and roll man, and of course, alley-oop target for Kobe. And when Shaq was in the post, Kobe could be a floor spacer or cutback door, and both of them had such significant gravity so that when they were on the court together, they took the attention of the defense off of each other. I have always held that the best dynamic for a duo, the highest ceiling of a duo, is if you have a ball-handling guard/wing and a scoring and just generally offensive skilled big man. And what do you know? Here we are with Jamal and Jokic, and it's basically the same thing. Not saying they're Kobe and Shaq, but it's a similar dynamic between them. If I were to create the perfect player for both Murray and Jokic to be paired with, I would just create the player that is currently their teammate. Now, I wouldn't have even known to think of the kind of player Jokic is because that archetype did not exist before him, but now knowing that that type of player works, it's basically phenomenal to have as a teammate if you're the type of player that Jamal Murray is. The point is, they are a perfect fit for each other. My favorite power couple in the league. With Jokic as a playmaking hub, Murray has a variety of options. In Game 3, we saw a good amount of Jokic just using his body to give Murray space on an outside jumper, but Murray is also an excellent cutter, and Jokic is a great screener, so when Murray has the ball, he can get a ton of space off of Jokic. And for Jokic, Murray is both someone excellent for him to set up as a play finisher, and the rare teammate for him who will also set up Jokic. That doesn't really happen much outside of Murray, but that makes their two-man game deadly. Their two-man game is basically the backbone of this team that they just fall onto whenever things are not going very smooth, because as simple as it is deadly effective. They can run their two-man game for like 15 straight possessions and probably get 15 great shots out of it, whether they go in or not. Jamal Murray is such a magnificent pull-up threat that you can't give him a ton of space on a screen. Jokic is shooting 1,000,000% from three in the playoffs and does not miss from mid-range. Jokic also has the touch of a god from floater range, which gives him a ton of open shots in a space of the floor that's hard to guard and easy to set up. Because of this synergy between them, they play off of each other exquisitely. Now, not that I'm trying to hate on the Boston Celtics going into this point, but it is great at illustrating the opposite of what Jamal and Jokic is to then thus illustrate how great Murray and Jokic is. So I'm not trying to be a hater here, but whatever, let's get into this. Contrast Jamal and Jokic with a duo like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They make it as far as the conference finals once again, but frankly, I'm tired of seeing them come up short. Sure, 5 conference finals in 7 years is more success than most organizations will ever see, and that's cool, but we don't play for conference finals appearances. 30 years down the line, we're not going to be saying, you know what team I remember from the 2020s, the 2023 Eastern Conference champion runner-up Boston Celtics. Like, get the hell out of here with that narrative. The reason this duo has failed to succeed at the highest levels, the reason this quote-unquote championship core has yet to win a championship and only made 1 actual finals appearance, is because this duo is not complementary to each other in the slightest. Jaylen and Jason are both shot-creating wings who are pretty good at finishing inside, respectable to good from mid-range depending on the night, and they take a shit ton of threes even when they're not that outstanding at them. They shot 33 and 35% from 3 between them. The only real difference between the two is one of them can dribble and pass and play off-ball defense, and the other player is Jaylen Brown. But neither of them do much work off-ball. Jaylen can't play-make for Tatum since he can't play-make for anyone, And for Jason, Jalen serves as a catch and shoot guy at best. Again, he doesn't shoot threes as well as you'd think, but seriously, that's the only value Jalen brings to Jason's game. Like, in terms of the value that Jalen has to Jason on the floor, just from Jason's perspective alone, he's not much better of a help than Marcus Smart is, because Marcus Smart can also be a catch and shoot guy who doesn't shoot that exceptional from three and takes a high volume of them, but at least Marcus can put the ball on the floor and make a nice pass. Otherwise, Jalen is never helping Tatum be good. And even in the case of Jason, for Jalen, he probably would benefit from a better playmaker than Tatum. I realize the big wing leading an offense thing is popular, but this shit is not it, man. Jason is not a primary playmaker. He just isn't. And because of this, Boston's offense isn't one that creates a ton of opportunities for Jalen, so he's often forced to create for himself, which, given the 8 turnovers in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, well, you see how that can go. Your duo having a complementary skill set is essential in their success. Not just something that's nice, but if it's not at least a little bit complementary, you're not reaping the benefits of having 2 exceptionally talented players. All you have is just 2 exceptionally talented players, which is good and can win you basketball games. But if they don't complement each other, it might as well just be you have one excellent player at a time and they're just taking turns being the excellent player. And in the case of Jokic and Murray, I don't think their skills could be any more complementary to each other's games than they already are. So yeah, this is the best duo in the league. That's it. Shout out to Rudy for editing the video, and goodbye.